Hi everyone, welcome to Korean Express YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to learn a very important concept in Korean grammar. That is the present progressive tense in Korean. We'll be able to frame sentences like I am cooking, I am studying, I am eating in Korean language with the help of this video. So without wasting any more time, let's go ahead. Now, before we go through this video, let me give you a brief introduction about what we are going to learn. So we have already learned how to use the simple present tense in Korean, like sentences, I speak English or I teach Korean. These sentences are in simple present tense, and we already know how to translate them or how to convert them in Korean language. If you don't know this, then please go and watch my videos on present tense in Korean. I'll share the link of the playlist in the description so that it becomes easier for you to have an access to all those videos. Now, as we already know how to say I speak English or I teach Korean or sentences that are in simple present tense, now what if you want to say you are doing something right now? Like I am studying or I am cooking. What about these sentences? So, this is the point where the present progressive tense comes in. And that's exactly what we are going to learn in this video. As I said in the beginning, that this grammar concept is super useful in daily conversation because we often talk about what's happening at the moment. So make sure to watch till the end and practice with me. Let's get started. Here, first of all, if you don't know what is present progressive tense in general, then here is a very basic definition. The present progressive tense is a form of verb tense that is used to indicate actions that are happening right now or currently in progress. You can remember it this way: all the actions that are in progress right now, they are indicated using the present progressive tense. Progress, progressive. Okay, you can relate it this way. For example, look at these sentences. I am eating. Mom is cooking. So, in these sentences, you can easily identify that these actions, the action of eating or cooking, they are happening right now. They are in progress. Okay? So, this is what a present progressive tense looks like. So, in English, it is formed using the following structure. First comes the subject, like in this sentence, the subject is I, and in the second one, subject is mom. Then comes am, is, are, like in these two sentences. And then comes the verb in ing format. Okay, verb ending in ing. Ing, eating, cooking, sleeping, studying, all these kind of verb structures or verb format that end in ing when talking about English, they represent present progressive tense. So structure is very simple. The identification is very easy. You just need to look at the verb and you'll identify if it's a present progressive tense or not. Right? So this is the basic meaning of this tense in English, to be precise. Now, let's jump on Korean and let's see what is present progressive tense in Korean and how we can indicate this tense in Korean language. So, to form this tense in Korean, we simply need to follow these three steps. It is very simple. Step number one, you need to take the verb stem. We know that each and every verb in Korean language ends in da. That is its dictionary form. So you need to remove ta from the verb, and then you are left with the stem, and that is called the verb stem. Okay, so you have to take the verb stem. Then comes step number 2, which is very important. You have to attach this phrase or this ending ko itta to it. Okay, so you have to attach this ending ko itta to the verb stem. Now, if you don't know what is this ko, then again we have already discussed about it in a previous video of mine. I'll share the link of that video. You need to understand this particle if you want to go through this particular video about present progressive tense. So first you need to understand what is this particle ko. Okay, so ko is a particle, and then itta, we already know. Here itta is acting as a verb itself. All right, so what you need to do, you need to attach ko itta to the verb stem, and then that verb will be converted into present progressive tense. Simple. Now comes step number 3. As I said, itta over here is acting as a verb, and we need to conjugate it. So you can conjugate itta in the present tense either in the casual or informal or formal form. Okay, these are the 3 basic form of conjugation. So in casual form, it will be ko 있어. Informal form, ko 있어요. And in formal form, ko 있습니다. Okay, so this is very easy, just 3 very easy steps, very simple steps, and you'll be able to convert the sentence in a present progressive tense. Now, we are going to take a look at examples. So, in all the examples, I have used this form of itta, in which I have conjugated itta in the informal way of conjugation. Why is that? Because the informal form of conjugation is most commonly and popularly used. So, all the example sentences that are going to come in this video, I have conjugated itta as 있어요. Okay, you can conjugate it as 있어 or 있습니다 depending on the situation. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at some example sentences to understand how to use this phrase or this ending ko itta in real life situations, in practical sentences. Okay, all right, so here comes the different examples. My mom is cooking. 저희 엄마는 요리하고 있어요. My mom, 저희 엄마. To cook, 요리하다. Now, step number 1. Remove 타. Verb stem, 요리하. Step number 2. Attach the ending 고 있다. Step number 3. Conjugate 있다 in the present tense. 있어요. So, cooking becomes 요리하고 있어요. Alright, very simple. Now let's move ahead. We are watching a movie. 우리는 영화를 보고 있어요. We is 우리. Movie, 영화. To watch, 보다. Remove the 다, verb stem, 보, attach, 고 있다, conjugate 있다 in present tense, 보고 있어요. Watching. Very simple. You need to be really quick. I'm repeating all these steps one by one so that it becomes easy for you to remember these steps, and then you can frame these sentences without even thinking about these steps, and you'll simply land on the final form. In present tense, 고 있어요. Okay? I am studying Korean. 저는 한국어를 공부하고 있어요. I is 저는, Korean, 한국어. To study, 공부하다. Remove the stem, 공부하. Attach, 고 있다. Conjugate 있다 in present tense. 있어요. So studying in Korean becomes 공부하고 있어요. My grandfather is sleeping. 저희 할아버지는 자고 있어요. My grandfather. 저희 할아버지. To sleep, 자다. Sleeping. It is very easy now. 자고 있어요. I am reading a book. 저는 책을 읽었어요. I is 저는, book, 책. To read, 읽다. Remove 다. Attach, 고 있어요. 읽고 있어요. Okay? So, with the help of these examples, I hope you understand how to use the ending ko ita to form sentences in the present progressive tense. Okay? Now, let's move ahead and talk about this very important note. Ko ita can be conjugated into the past and future tenses to express past progressive and future progressive actions. So, till now, we have talked about the present progressive actions or tense. But ko ita, it can also be conjugated in the past and future tense to indicate the past progressive and future progressive tenses also. Now, the thing is that in everyday Korean, these forms they can sound a bit awkward or overly detailed. So, native Korean speakers, they usually prefer to use the regular or the simple past or future tense unless they specifically want to emphasize the action that was or will be ongoing. Okay, so the native speakers, they usually don't prefer the ko-itta format for past progressive and future progressive actions. They go with the simple past and the simple future tense unless they really want to emphasize that the action was or will be ongoing. For example, 저는 잤어요. I slept. It sounds more natural in most situations than 저는 자고 있었어요. I was sleeping. This is used when you want to stress on the ongoing nature of the action, right? You simply say, I slept, rather than saying, I was sleeping. Use this if you really want to emphasize the fact that you were sleeping, right? You know what I mean? So, with this, 고 있었어요 in the past tense or 고 있을 거예요 in the future tense, they are still grammatically correct. And you need to remember one thing, that they're used when emphasis or clarity is needed. Otherwise, the simple past or the simple future tense are used for the past and future actions. Okay? You only use the ko-itta format for past and future tense when you want to emphasize on the action that happened or that is still ongoing in the future. Okay? I hope you get this. Now, let's look at some example sentences to understand how to use ko-itta in the past and future tense. All right? This format is correct. So we have to look at some examples to know how we can use this. My mom was cooking. 저희 엄마는 요리하고 있었어요. Now here, your mom was cooking. So if you really want to emphasize on the fact that she was cooking, you are going to use the ending 고 있었어요. Okay? Otherwise, you can say 저희 엄마는 요리했어요. That is also correct. And this sentence is also correct. Okay, you get the difference? You want to emphasize on the fact that she was cooking, so you used the ending 고 있었어요. Next example. We were watching a movie. 우리는 영화를 보고 있었어요. Here also, if you want to emphasize the fact that you were watching a movie, you are going to attach the ending 고 있었어요 to the verb stem 보. Next example is my grandfather will be sleeping. 저희 할아버지는 자고 있을 거예요. Here, if you want to focus or stress on the fact that your grandfather will be sleeping, then you're going to attach the ending 고 있을 거예요 to the verb stem 자. Next example is I will be reading a book. 저는 책을 읽고 있을 거예요. Here also, if you want to emphasize or stress on the fact that you will be reading, so you are going to attach the ending 고 있을 거예요 to the verb stem 이. Okay? Now, I hope you understood when you have to use the 고 있다 format in the past and future tense to indicate the progressive action. Okay? Now, again, a very important note. There is actually one more way to express the present progressive tense in Korean, and that is also commonly used in our daily conversation. But right now, it was important for you to understand the 고 있다 format for present progressive tense in Korean language. So we discussed it. The other format for this tense that is not so important for you as a beginner while learning Korean language. So we'll be discussing that method in detail in some other video. For now, stay tuned for more videos on Korean grammar and Korean vocabulary. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe Korean Express YouTube channel. Thank you.